everyone. So today we would be discussing longest palindromic substring. So this is one of the famous question, and the category in which it comes under is dynamic programming. So this is sort of one of the recommended questions you should do for Amazon if you want to crack Amazon interview. So let us see what the question is. So basically, if this is a string, you have to figure out what is the longest palindromic substring you can extract from this. So if your string is BABAD, the longest would be this, correct? BAB. If we take the example of CBBD, the longest would be BB, correct? Or let's say if the string is MADAM, the whole string would be the longest substring. So one could think what could be the probable ways of figuring this out. The simplest is make all the permutations of the string, and then for each permutation figure out if that is a palindrome or not. So suppose the string is this madam. So for how what would be the time complexity if you try to figure out what all substring can be generated? You would be running two loops, correct? I would be going from the outer to the end, then J would be traveling again from I to length minus 1. So simply n square just for traversing, and then to check if if a substring which the current substring is palindrome or not, again n. So, okay, because you will traverse the whole string and then figure out if the string is a substring or not. That is an ON operation, correct? So the whole thing would take n cube time. So we have to figure out if we can do better than this. So one idea which can do this work in n square is we simply what we do, we take each this character one by one, we traverse it, and we assume as if this is the center around which the palindrome is expanding. So what we'll do, we'll start from B. Taking B as the center, can we make a palindromic substring? No, B is a single thing, so the length would be 1. Then we'll go to A. Can we expand around A? A, correct, we can expand around A. We can take B and this one B, and then the whole substring will be BAB. That this is a palindromic substring, so we can include this. Then we'll again try to expand further, but if we'll go further than this B, then we'll go out of this string, so we'll not go further. So we'll record this and we'll keep on traversing like this. Then we'll try this B. We'll again expand, keeping this as the center. A. So this is also one of the probable answer for this. ABA, this is also a palindromic substring. Then we'll again go further. We'll go for this substring BABAD. That is, this is not a palindrome, so we'll not include it. Then again we'll go further. Since we'll go out of this string, we'll not expand it further. Okay, so let's try to code this. So I've already coded this. So this is the simple null check which I'm doing. If it is null or length is 0 or the length of the string is less than 2, simply return the string, correct? No need to check for it. Anything less than 2 is a single letter, and that is a palindrome in itself. We'll assume it and then we'll simply return it, okay? Just for the sake of this test case. We'll keep a max length, a start and an end pointer. This is the loop which we are running. Okay, so one more thing which I want to discuss here is, so how many centers can there be? So you would say that if the length is of the string is n, there would be n centers, but the thing is there would be 2n minus 1 centers. How? So we can take an example. Okay, So if you see this string, madam, when the count, when we would be traversing and I would be at dth position, it will expand and it will include the whole string, madam, correct? But if we take the example of CBBC or any even substring palindrome, so if we start from C, nothing, no palindrome, B, nothing, this B, nothing. So for even cases, what we have to assume that the center is this, the middle point, correct? The empty space. This is the center. So what I'm trying to say here is there could, for each character that we would be traversing, there could be any scenario. Either that could be a even length palindromic substring or a odd length palindromic substring. So we have to check for both these cases. Okay. So this is what I have done here. Expand around center is nothing. It is simply calculating the maximum palindromic substring around ith character. Okay. And I and I plus 1, here it is taking the midpoint, the gap as the middle point. Okay. I and I plus 1. So okay, so let's see what this function is doing. Simply I am just passing the ith position as the left and the right coordinate. A simple run loop while the left index is greater than equal to 0 and right we are not going, we are inside the string. We'll keep on expanding it, treating this I as the center. Okay, so left and right, and here I am simply checking if it is a palindrome, keep on expanding, and simply then I'll be returning the length of the longest substring. Now why r minus l minus 1? Because see, whenever a substring, a palindromic substring is found, I'm simply expanding the my length. So in the last case where this condition is not true, I've already included those two characters. So r minus l automatically excludes the last character, and minus 1, I'm excluding these two, correct? So do this for both the cases, considering even length can be generated or odd length can be generated. Find the maximum length. If this length is greater than the maximum length we were storing up till now, then simply update the start and the end pointers. Now one thing to note here is why when I'm calculating the start index from the center, why I'm taking length minus 1 and not simply length by 2. That could be cleared by this small snippet. So if it is an odd length substring, let's say madam, so the start index would be length by 2. 5 by 2 is 2, 2 minus 2 is 0, and end. So everything works fine in case of odd length string. But if the length of the palindrome is even, the start and the end index would be inappropriate. Like see, the length of the palindromic substring BBC is 4. So 4 minus 2 is 2, 1 minus 2 is minus 1, which is not a valid index. So to overcome this problem, we use simply length minus 1. So in case of in case of even, it would be 4 minus 1 would be 3 by 2, and that would be 0, and n would be same, and we don't have to worry about anything. Okay, and for this odd case also it will work fine. So if this length is 5, 5 minus 1, 4, 4 by 2 is 4 by 2 is 2, and it will work perfectly. So if I do this over here, start strt equal to 2 minus, if instead of 5 it was 5 minus 1, which is 4 by 2, so start index would still be 0 and end index be 2 plus length is 5 by 2, so this would not be impacted and it will be 4. So this length minus 1 strategy works for both odd and even, correct? You can pause the video, look over this explanation, and I'm sure you'll figure it out. Otherwise, just comment in the video. I'll try to clear your doubts. Okay. So I think so. Start and end index we update. Max length in case we keep it for future to check if anything bigger we have encountered. And finally, we have the start index, we have the end index. Why we are doing n plus 1? Because substring return end minus 1 from start up to end minus 1. So we increase the length by 1 so that the whole string can be returned. So that's it. I have already compiled this, so it should work fine. Okay, so do let me know how you like it, and in case you want me to include anything else or the teaching method can be improved, just let me know in the comments below. Thank you. Siddharth, this is Siddharth Navani signing out.